Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie 3, Knuckles figure from Jakks Pacific. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this figure looks positively killer, and one of the best in the line, honestly, and that's saying something, considering all these figures look amazing. Yeah, they did a fantastic job here. Sculpt is absolutely on point, as you can see. I mean, it looks just like he does in the movie. Actually, I haven't seen the movie yet, but proportions are pretty much spot on, exactly what they should be. Lots of sculpt. Again, you can kind of see the fur sculpted in there, beautifully done all around. I got the tail, I got the shoes. The shoes are probably my favorite part because they've nailed everything. They've got the kind of metal plate here on the top. They got nice clean lines for the red and the yellow. They even got all of the treads on the boots just sculpted in, and that's awesome to see. Really love that. Not only that, but face sculpt is exactly what it should be. I guess my only real gripe with this figure would be, again, these kind of, I really love that they're doing the translucent plastic with the eye kind of behind them, but as you can see, you can kind of see the seam there on that side. Not as bad on the left, but yeah, certain angles it definitely shows up a little bit more, but other than that, like, everything about this figure just looks like absolutely killer. Articulation, balance here are really nice. Not quite as good as we saw with Sonic and Shadow, but still very nice. Freestanding kicks, no issues. I put this into this pose, like, just pretty much put it there and it's standing, no issues. Beautiful. Beyond that, we do have a pretty similar scheme to what we saw with Sonic and Shadow. So we do have the ball joint at the head, though we're not getting much movement because we're running into his fur. As you can see, they are running into the arms, so you're not really getting any up. Tiniest bit of down. I do kind of wish that they had made this so the head kind of came up and you could move it, because you could tell if you could put it between, you know, the dreads over here or over here, like, you could definitely get some kind of more dynamic poses, but they do have a way to kind of make up for that. We do have butterfly joints at the shoulder, but they don't really move. They're very much recessed in the body, so you get a little bit of forward and back, but nothing crazy. Hinge and swivel at the shoulders coming up into a T. We do get a bicep swivel. We get our single joints here at the elbows, nice and tight too, which is going to bring us to just about 90. Then we get swivel, we get hinge, and we get hand articulation or hand hinge, finger hinge. Then we get a ball joint here at the diaphragm, and some decent arch back, some okay forward, though we are running into that sculpt. We get a little bit of side to side, and that's where our rotation is going to come. So, you know, for our punches and stuff like that, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to move the head again, but you kind of get all that movement from here. So there's that. The get hips, we get our ball joints, so we're coming out almost full splits. Very nice. Again, same setup we saw with Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic and Shadow, pardon me. Front kick, perfect 90, straight out in front. We do get thigh swivel. We get single jointed knees, bringing us to 90. We get a little bit of rotation there. Then we get nothing at the ankles, unfortunately. We get a tiny bit of point, get a little bit of forward, and a little bit of rocker. So yeah, that will do it for articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here is with some of the other Sonic 3 figures. With some domestics. With some imports. With some monsters. Finally, with the articulated icons Oni, and yours truly in human form as a Valverse Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie 3 Knuckles figure from Jakks Pacific is this is a great figure. Not the best in the line. I was hoping for a little bit more. The articulation is super fun. Balance is on point. The sculpt is probably the best in the line so far, which is saying something because they all look fantastic. But I just was hoping for a little bit more out of the articulation. Again, if the head could just get around the arms, I think it would just open up worlds. I think with some heat, you can probably remove the head and then move it, and then, you know, kind of do either pose it or, you know, take your photos or whatever, and then kind of move on from there. But that's a lot of work. If they had like kind of added a feature where the head kind of extended and you could turn it and then put it back, I think that would have done wonders here. But other than that, like everything else is absolutely fantastic. Fully recommend it if you are a fan of Sonic, Knuckles in particular, and yeah, just like fun toys. It's a great piece. So yeah. That being said, I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining, and if that's the case, I hope to see you back here because I do multiple reviews a week of action figures related to tokusatsu, dinosaurs, monsters, pro wrestling, and more. So yeah, come on back. Let's talk about some really nice plastic and just escape the world for a while. But really, at the end of the day, I just hope you're well. Hope that all of your toy dreams come true, and most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.